In this lesson, we'll learn how to use expressions with animation layers. The ability to add expressions in layers opens up a whole other level of efficiency. Let's go ahead and learn how this works. I'll show the control objects for this character. Let's go ahead and select his feet controls. We'll also grab the left arm control. And with these objects selected, we'll go ahead and add the translate X, or the side-to-side movement, to a layer. What we're basically working on is the shaking movement that should happen as our character is getting shocked, so we can finish this scene. So with these objects selected, can now choose Create Layer from Selected Objects. Alright, so now let's go ahead and rename this layer. We'll call it Shock EXPR for expression abbreviated. Now that that's done, we'll add just one more attribute coming from the upper body control. We'll select the C, select the translate Y, and with the layer selected, we'll right click and choose Add to Selected Layers. Great, now that all of these have been added, we'll start from the foot control, adding in our expression. So I'll select that, minimize the animation layer editor. We'll press Ctrl A to access our attribute editor. Can right click now on our translate X. That's tied to our expression. We'll want to access its output. Let's go ahead and select that. And now notice we're brought to the inputs of this attribute. So input A holds our original animation. Input B is where we're going to want to add our expression, and not to the output. The output is basically going to be the sum of what we have here. So let's go ahead and right click on our input B and go to Create New Expression. We'll give this expression a name. We'll call this Shock Expression. Okay. Let's go ahead and select the object and its attribute. Okay, we'll copy that, paste, and have this equal to the random value of 10. So we're adding a random function in there so we can get the shaking, and we'll just use the 10 so we don't get too much. This value would give us just enough shaking that we are looking for. So we'll go ahead and create this now, and notice what's going to happen. Now we're getting that shaking on top of our pre-existing animation. Again, expressions opens up a whole nother level of control for us when it comes to working with layers. Great. Now, how are we going to control when the shaking starts and stops? Because we definitely need to address this. Well, that can actually be controlled by our layer's weight. So let's go ahead and finish up our expression, and then we'll worry about that later. Okay, so going to the next object, select that, right click, again go to the output, right click in input B, choose Create New Expression. Again, we can have this equal to a random value of 10. Being that we're using a random function, we're always going to get a different result. Okay, so we don't have to worry about any twinning. So we'll again have it equal to the random value of 10. If you'd like, you can take this, copy it, switch your selection filter to by expression name. We'll find the shock expression, and we'll simply paste this left foot underneath or the right foot expression underneath the left foot expression. Okay, so we can add all of these to just one expression node. So now that that's done, we'll go ahead and choose Edit, and now the shocking effect is happening on the right foot as well. So we get the idea here. Let's go ahead and finish this up. We'll go to our left arm, go to the first tab, right click on the input B, we copy. Okay, we can go to now our expression, okay, shock expression, can paste, set this equal to, again, random value of 10, and put a semicolon to close off this expression. Choose Edit, and now we're getting this shocking in the arm as well. And now we'll just need to do that to the translate Y of our upper body control. So we'll right click, output, go to the input, copy, go into our expression, and I'm just updating the by expression name. We go to our shock expression, paste, and set that equal also to the random of 10, semicolon. Alright, great. And if you like, if it will help, you could always comment these out. Okay, so this one is for the left foot underscore shock, EXPR. You can go ahead and copy that comment. Go to the next line down, paste. This is for the right foot, so we'll just replace left with right. Okay, we'll go to the next, paste. This is for the left arm, so we'll just get rid of foot, replace that with arm. And then the last is for the upper body. So we'll type that in. And now we're staying more organized this way. So we'll go ahead and choose Edit. And now we're getting the shocking effect happening on the entire character pretty much. But okay, now what we need to do is control when this should happen. So going back to our animation layer editor, what we'll go ahead and do is now use these wait keys for our layer. So let's go to about the point where we'd like the animation to start. Just before the character leaves the floor, we'll set a wait of 0 on our shock expression layer. Then at about frame 35, we'll set a wait key of 1 to add the shocking. The character lands on frame 50, so we'll want it to stop there. We'll set a 0 wait. And a few frames before that, on 47, let's go ahead and set wait to 1. Here's what we end up with. If we're to close all of that out, hide our controls. Here's the end product. Excellent. So notice how quickly we were able to add that shake offset. There was no need to keyframe this movement. So again, we see how efficient expressions can be when we're using them on our layers. Now, there is a limitation to working with expressions. We couldn't take this layer and export that because it's not going to consider the expression when we import that into a file. But there is a way around that, which we'll be taking a look at. It's actually what we need to do is basically bake the layer down. So we will be discussing that a little bit later on. But that, again, is how we can add expressions to attributes tied to layers.